Thank you very much for joining. Pleasure having you all here. I do know that you have quite a lot of opportunities here at the trade show and different talks happening at the same time. So very much appreciated joining this one. And I will not going to bore you with any information on Colja Dams, but I would like to show you a brief video on what we as an agency for events and live marketing do, so you see why we're coming to marketing automation from here.
Creating powerful and thought-provoking imagery has always been the passion of our agency founder, Colja Dams. 50 years onwards, and the same passion drives us daily, bringing thoughts to life and connecting the smiles of brands and people. Utilizing multi-channel disciplines, we turn ordinary campaigns into three-dimensional live experiences. Experiences which influence and shape traditional communication in return. That's what we call live campaigns. Creating better results is our philosophy, a result-driven process instilled in all our actions. At Colja Dams, we believe in the power of Kommunikation direct, as intimate and personal connections will shape the future of communication. There's no substitute for personal experience, and that's true today as much as it was 50 years ago.
Now, I would like to share with you, we have been working on trying to figure out what is actually the code of creating wow projects. And the code is right because by the end of the day, it is all about data. And we believe that from the old days when madmen were coming up with strange ideas, taking a shower or having lots of whiskey, we believe it's now about the meth man that will come up with the ideas. Now, we have discovered that in the RFPs that we are seeing, we do get about 450 RFPs a year, that there are more and more elements that we suggest do come together with marketing automation. We do have in all our offices, we have trend scouts, and these trend scouts do take a certain amount of their time and do try to discover what kind of trends there are. Then they put them in an internal intranet system, and each and every one of our staff members has the opportunity to vote, is it hot or not? And then we decide to come up with certain elements. And we have been coming up in the past with all kinds of trends that helped us shape the future of our agency. And I would like to share with you the mega trends that we see coming up for the next years. The first one is customer. Customer centricity is per se nothing new, but what we feel right now, it is extremely new that it's taken seriously. The next one is data. Everything is about data, collecting data, the analytics behind it, and using this data. Data. And the third one is, what we discover is that the sales funnel is changing. While it used to be the nurturing of leads purely for the sales team, it becomes more and more for the marketing team to take care of it. And of course, I am a bit biased here, but it is about live, because there are only two elements growing in the overall communication industry, which is digital and live, and therefore it makes sense to bring both of it together. The next one is, we believe, a seeing of a shifting of the creepy line. The creepy line idea is pretty easy. It depends on which kind of market you are in. You have a different perspective of when does something become creepy, or up to which level it is cool using new technologies. In Asia, the creepy line is way up there, especially in Germany. Germans are strange. The creepy line is down there, so everything is creepy. And the US is somewhere in between. Now, what can marketing do about this? There's one solution that you have already heard here today, and there's a lot about marketing automation coming up. And the interesting thing behind it is that 87% of all marketeers agree that marketing automation is going to be the future. Interestingly, only 24% of them are already using any kinds of marketing automation, and even less, only 6%, are basing their decisions also in an event context on data. So there's a lots of potential out there. We believe that marketing automation using the entire circle has a lot of advantages. Now, let's call it for now Live+Marketing automation. And just marketing automation in a nutshell, it's pretty easy. If you, all of you probably signed up for a newsletter of one of the cool sportswear companies, and then you get, for example, an email promoting a red sneaker. So maybe you will buy it. If not, these ads with this sneaker will come up online wherever you are visiting. If you're not buying them, maybe you will get an offer with a discounted sneaker. Maybe then if you click on YouTube, you will get something on different color sneakers. If you click on the blue one in all the websites you're going through, the blue one may show up. And by the end of the day, no matter where you go, it will lead to either that you cannot stand the sneaker anymore, or you're just gonna buy it. Now, there's one problem about it, is that the entire life element is not included in this customer journey. Even though there are lots of, we call data diamonds, that can come up in the live event that will help shaping the overall customer journey. To organize this a bit, we changed it. We came up with two different levels. The first level, the strategic level, is the MarTech level. So everything from, let's call it marketing automation. So these are all these tools from HubSpot, Salesforce, Oracle, Marketo, whatever that may be used in your company or your client's company. The next level is the event analytics level. So all the event tech that you have, lots of interesting exhibitors here around as well. Now the general benefit of why do we do this is we are able to invite the right people to our events. We are able to really truly customize the individual communication to everyone. We can generate a higher and better audience. We're able to really track the behavior of any user. By the end of the day, we will drive sales and are able to create leads and conversation out of it. Now let's go deeply into these layers just for a second. We came up with a consulting system to approaching the marketing intelligence level. First, it is fairly easy. You need to define the goals you are at. Then you have to define the KPIs, how you measure these goals. And then you select the methods and tools for measurements. Now, this is an extremely interesting point because a lot of times we are being called in by our clients when they've already selected a tool. And then we're trying to go back these steps to figure out what is it they're actually going after. This is one of the reasons why in a lot of cases of our clients, there's a lot of data being collected that is of absolutely no use because it's collected for the sake of collecting data. Only if you start from the beginning and then drive it down, you can come up to the data types that really help you by the end of the day, and really then bringing MarTech and event tech together really help you to get into the automation and generate data-driven events. By the way, I see some of you taking pictures. I have my email address on the screen afterwards. Just drop me a line and I'll send you the deck. So, and of course, it will help you creating a dashboard, giving you all the data that you would like to base decisions upon. So bridging online and analytics is really the key here. Let's go in the event analytics part, and there are a lot of interesting elements that we believe that can be used. Let's just track it in one of the customer journeys before the event. So before the event, you can go through the general registration process. You can include an app that may be downloaded. You can also video is now the hottest stuff on the internet, so provide people with videos to prepare for the event and get their preferences, create an individual event agenda and such. During the event, you have the chance to create all kinds of different data out of seeing where people are going, whom they are meeting, which workshops they're attending, including live polling systems, and really see how they interact. Thank you. And after the event, of course, you are able to follow up and really continue this journey and then drive the data back into the marketing tech. There are lots of technologies here, and there are lots of companies here around that will help you with the event tech solutions. We created what we called an event data cloud because we believe it is extremely important that you're not messing up your marketing data, MarTech database with all kinds of useless event data. So therefore, we put an integrated event data cloud where all this data from the entire processes comes in before it is worked through and distributed back to your CRM systems, websites, or social media. And by the end of the day, this of course helps you to optimize the events for the future that you are aiming to. I would like to share with you now two cases that we've been working together with startups on generating this data. One case I would like to show you is from Hong Kong, which is unfortunately not working in Europe due to some strange GDPR issues, but they will overcome them shortly, and this is extremely impressive what we are using here already in China, Hong Kong and Korea.
Say you're shopping in this Armani store in Hong Kong, then your friend calls. You answer the phone and leave the store. For Armani, you're a lost customer. But then the next day, you're sitting at work looking at your phone and you get an Armani ad reminding you of your visit from yesterday. Wait, what happened here?
But I didn't give any information. I didn't register my name. I didn't register for an app.
If you have a smartphone, your phone is constantly sending and collecting different signals from GPS, Wi-Fi, so on. So we use those signals to understand your location.
That's Miran Miranyuk. He started a company called Cosmos, which tracks shoppers offline and helps stores market to them online.
We don't need you to install an app. We don't need you to connect to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth.
Cosmos is in more than 100,000 stores in which it can track location-based activity 24/7, and it's tracked more than 1 billion smartphones. It's so precise, it can narrow down where you stood in a store to about a 6-foot radius.
So we can tell that someone was trying the makeup, someone was trying fragrance.
And 6 feet is really just a few steps.
Maybe like 2 steps.
Cosmos doesn't actually install anything in the store, but they do need to physically visit so they can map out the space and understand the Wi-Fi signals in different areas. Cosmos is able to know your movements because it buys the data from the apps that you've already given permission to know your location. And it's not hard. 400,000 apps are sharing data with Cosmos. On average, 7 apps have permission for location tracking on a typical smartphone in China.
So a store can now track a phone that was in the fitting room.
But never made it to the cash register. Then, using anonymous IDs based on your previous locations, ads are purchased on the likes of Facebook, Google, and WeChat. And that's how you get those targeted ads.
So now, this is an amazing company because the idea behind it is extremely easy. It is linking the person to the actual position they were standing. So it's not just about counting how many people have been there, and it really helps me then by the end of the day also to generate lookalike audiences. So I can market especially to everyone who has been at least 5 minutes at this ever point. So now you may know that when you're logging into websites you do have the opportunity to sign up with Facebook and Google. This is the very second you're linking to an app that gives your current position. So as soon as the GDPR issues are sorted out, this is going to come to Europe as well. I'm going to show you one other example that we're doing together with a French startup, but there's a company, Zenos, up here right in the entrance from the US. If you check it out, they are offering the same thing, and it looks even a bit more sophisticated. So the idea here is that you are able to film the audience and measure what emotional impressions they have. So normally you do a survey and ask afterwards, how did you like the presentation or anything? Then people will respond, yeah, good, no, or the food was excellent. This is really, were people paying attention? How did they react on whatever was happening? And this is amazing data that you can generate out of it and really map it to your entire event and see how really things are working, especially if you then compare speakers afterwards. It's amazing. And you can tell I'm trying to stress this. This is why I'm showing this again. So there are lots of business linking live and marketing automation. So our key learnings in a nutshell: this is not a trend, it is a development. Start yesterday and first define your goals before you start shopping around for event tech. Really define what is it you want to achieve. Then follow your customer. Make sure that you really follow them in the entire journey, no matter of digital or live, or stay agile and creative. So the madman is dead, and we all have to become a bit more math man or math woman. So thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, great. Thank you. We'll go to the question. And question is, how, in your opinion, increased personalization using marketing automation will help right-sizing events?
This is a good question, definitely. This is one of the major points why we do this, is so that clients can decide where to spend their money on events. So the return on investment then will define where the marketing dollars are being spent in the future.
Okay, that's all the questions we
No
have
more
for this one.
questions.
Yeah, if you guys...
Okay. Could you please get my contact details up again? That's nice. So please send me an email or give me a card, and I am happy to share the presentation. Thank you again.